Hello, everyone. Welcome to another gaming session of Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So, again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, South Jersey, Northern Wilmington, Allentown, Harrisburg, Philly, of course, do me a favor, Northeast Maryland, reach out to me. We're a good gaming group. We like to have fun. We play a huge, different amount of games. But most important thing is you have fun. You turn around even if you have disagreements on the halves you don't like. You say, "Here's your beer. Have fun. Let's keep playing the game and enjoy." And with that said, we're actually going to be trying to have another episode of Dragon Talk. We're going to do it the way Lord T does it, using online with YouTube, and we're going to be discussing um, developing your lists, deployment. So list building, deployment. Do you want first or second turn? And finally, trying to come up with some ideas regarding a new magic system that the Ninth Age is trying to work on. So that's going to be happening this Tuesday, whatever that day may be. Oh, hold on, I think it's the 21st. I think is the date. So do me a favor, if you want, try to look us up and join us. And that's it. It should be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am here in the United States, Philadelphia. And we're also have a couple tournaments coming up, which I mentioned before. One's Battle Cry, which is going to be in Baltimore, which is next weekend. The other one is Brawlers, which is in March. So we're all going down to Brawlers. Only a couple of us are going to Battle Cry. And we're really looking forward to it. But the thing is, it's a 6,000 point list that you have to turn around and develop. And you get to use things when you're playing a 6,000 point list that you wouldn't normally bring. And you get more of your toys, so to speak, more of your kits. It can make for a very fun game, or it can make for some people, it can make for an unfun game. For others, it depends on the list. But overall, I think most people would say the bigger the game, the more relaxed you are, the more fun it's going to be. Just That's just it. So what we have here is going to be the Vermin Empire. He actually is playing against Dan, and he's got the fanciest rats alive, literally, or models, I should say, versus myself playing my Dwarven holds. And the reason he's actually playing them as Vermin Swarm this time. And yes, I know this is an Imperial guy, but it's just a really cool picture I found online of fighting the Rat Ogre, or the Vermin Hulk in this case. So we're playing 6,000 points per side, and I think standard deployment, and we have the objective markers up on the board is what we rolled. And here's my list. Feel free, look at the list. And that's all I can say. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I know I don't have costs on there, but feel free to let me know. Again, it's 6,000 points. And here are his spells. He did not get to 10 McSummons. He actually rolled his dice. I looked down, went, "You didn't get to 10 McSummons." And went, because I hate that spell. That spell's so effing broken. But he did get good spells. He got break the spirit. He got chilling howl, like pounding drumbeat, and waken the beast. And let's see. So here's the boards. Now he deployed everything. He gave me the option to place first, so I placed a unit of handgunners, and then he dropped everything wanting first turn. He and I are still debating his style of deployment, and he's like, "Well, I have to keep everything in this certain bubble," and I'm going, I don't think you do, but if you're telling me you do, go for it. But I don't think you have to keep it in that style bubble." And he's like, "I gotta keep the two things on the far sides," and hopefully Dan will post his list. The two things on the far sides are the what are the doom wheels, or whatever they're called now, and then the awesome looking models, by the way. The two things in the middle are Vermin Hulks, or not Vermin Hulks, the Abominations. And then he's got 2 units of 60 clan rats with meat grinders in both of them. The one unit on the left that we're looking at has the killing blade that does D6 wounds. Yes, I said that. It's causes D6 wounds, strength 10, but you get hit with a toxic attack at the end of every friendly player's turn. And then he's also got an assassin in that unit as well. So that is just a killy unit. And then you've got his another one with his general in it. And behind that's a wizard bunker. Literally, that's it. Wizard bunker. He's got 3 rotary guns on the field. And that's all he's got right there. So, as I said, he's got first turn, going from my left to right. I've got my Vengeance Seekers with characters. I've got my Kingsguard with the King. I've got Crossbowmen, my Deep Watch. I've got a Junior. I've got 25 Spears with the Flaming Banner. Oh, and the banner with the unit there in the middle of the Deep Watch, they have the that runic banner that gives me a 5+ ward save against shooting attacks. Period. So again, it's not magic, but shooting attacks. Then you've got the, what is it? Organ guns there. I've got my handgunners, my vanguarding great weapon team, and 11 graybeards with shields and a unit champ. And I really think this might be the list I bring over to Brawlers. I think it's a decently strong list. Has a lot of damage output, allows me to deal with a lot of things. And since I'm not worried about point preservation per se, I'm worried about killing the other guy. This is where Kingsguard I think comes into play, and they're really good at what they can do, but they're not good. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background. But they're not good at point preservation. And I find that if you're able to preserve your points and grind your opponent out, that's going to win. So, as I said, Dan also had first turn. So he moved up. He played aggressive. And I sat back. I sat back for a reason, going, he has to come to me. I have him on range. He's going to go first. So the whole point's to kill the other guy. He's going to have to come to me. So he actually moved up the one unit of Clan Rats. They have the Triple Your March banner. So they moved up 15 inches. And that's it. That wheel misfired, moved in a random direction. You draw a line, anything hit takes a strength 10 hit, and because it's on the volatile chart. And unfortunately, it pointed itself off the board. Over here, that Doom Wheel turned around and killed three of the dwarves. They're fine. And that's it. That's all that happened. During my turn, I charged the one Doom Wheel with all the Seekers and the character. And otherwise, I sat back. I moved up the vanguarding units and the Graybeards. And I sat back and I waited to see what was going to happen. So my organ gun puts 2 wounds on that. Close combat, yeah, he does 5 wounds. I mean, he does all the grind attacks and everything else. I only have a 6+ ward save. And let's be honest, they're a delivery system, nothing more. I just want them to be able to get the character into combat. He overruns. The reason why I have him overrun is so out of line of sight from the cannon, which you can clearly see in this picture here. And that's it. So it's now Dan's turn. He is aggressive again. He moves up as much as he can. And I'm looking at the field going, all right, unfortunately, I kind of chapped myself a little bit and I screwed a few things up, but nothing horrible, nothing unthinkable here. And yeah, that's it. So what do? I'm sorry, this is his turn. He turns around, he's able to kill only one of them with shooting. The one rotary gun misfired. And they're within 6 inches of the banner because it's from the bearer, and I actually purposely lined it up so that the Deep Watch and the Kingsguard are 6 inches apart from each other with the other guys in between. So one's giving Swift Stride, the other one is giving the 5+ ward save against shooting. Over here, charged in, kills 3 of mine. but they end up running. He runs them down. I think he killed them to a man, and he overran, but he's still able to get flanked. So this is now my turn. I think it's bottom of turn 2. Yeah, pretty sure it's bottom turn 2. Sorry for not having my dice counter. And the Greybeards go into the flank of the Doom Wheel. My Kingsguard, I'm going, well, I'd rather, as always, you want to charge rather than be charged. I didn't want him setting it up so that he could place his characters up against my king. Because both the assassin and that doom-wielding character of his has me worried, has me concerned. And by the way, he had me rolling his toxic attacks because at the end of every friendly phase, he gets hit with a toxic attack. I was rolling like 6s both times. So his character with the Doomblade has 2 wounds on it right now. That's it. Let's see. There in the middle, I charged in with the spears and one of my Vengeance Seekers into one of the abominations. The other abomination has 2 wounds on it currently, so I'm not overly worried about that considering what he's looking at over there. And yeah, that's it. So on to magic, I turn around and say, okay, -1 to hit. And he has Vermin Brood in both of his 2 units of Clan Rats. So that unit there has lightning reflexes. And he did manage to get the spell to go off that says +1 to strength on them. Well, I go -1 to hit. And he tries to stop it. I rolled 5 dice. I had a large magic phase. I rolled 5 dice. I didn't miscast, so I get to keep the spell. But I rolled low. I rolled like a 14 or 15 on 5 dice. However, he rolled lower than that. The spell goes off, and then I turn around and I go, all right, well, I've got 4 dice left, -1 to wound. And he goes ahead and he rolls. And he's like, I stopped now. I'm like, no, you didn't. He goes, what are you talking about? I had 4 because I have my level 3. He's like, no, you failed to cast that first spell. Or you failed to stop that first spell, so you don't get the bonus. You get a +1. You don't get a +4. He goes, suck. So all of a sudden, where I should have been shut down for a majority of my magic phase due to bad dice rolling, ends up becoming a great magic phase. I get 2 of my 3 spells off. And they are the perfect counter to my opponent because he has lightning reflexes, +1 to hit, and +1 strength. So all of a sudden, instead of needing, let's see, lightning reflexes would have been needing 3s and 4s, he now needs 4s and 5s to hit me. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it. The one thing is that his +1 strength still does help against my armor save. Over here, his abomination gets shot to death from my organ gun and the engineer. And close combat. Close combat, I turn around, I did 4 wounds to that abomination from charging in with Junior and the spears. He rolled well, but he's stomped Junior to death, and he killed 7 spearmen with his attack. So I did listen to the commentary between Lord Dan, and Skaven and AZ, and I think the damage output on these things is proper. I really do, because 3d6 attacks, again, these are spears, so he's hitting on 4s, but he's wounding on 2s. Ugh. Yeah, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It survived. He was rolling very well for his ward saves, and that's all I can say. Now, over here to this combat, he only killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Kingsguard versus I killed his character, I killed his assassin, and then I killed a whole bunch of rats. He's still steadfast, but I killed a lot there. And in retrospect, had I dumped everything else into that unit, no, I did the right choice by killing the meat grinder and the and the assassin and the character. That's all I can say. Unfortunately, my king had no choice. My king had to kill the assassin because character was touching him. But yeah, having the rest of the unit just kill those 2 models was picture perfect. Let's see. Over here, well, that was a miscast. Did I miss a picture? Apparently so. So during oh, going the wrong way, boys. So that was that. So now it's on to his turn. I forget what spell he got off here, but he rolled a miscast, killed half the unit. I'm happy. Over here, he turned around and back combat. I end up sticking there because I have steadfast. Over here, I chaffed him up with Junior. Last turn, I did not charge in with Junior. I just chaffed him up, so he has to charge and kill Junior, and he's expecting to do so. But that's it. During his shooting phase, he does 2 wounds to my character, and he actually rolled 3 more wounds, or 4 total wounds on that thing. So one set I rolled 1 6 and 2 got through. All right, whatever. Next turn, rotary gun goes off and he fires. He does 3 wounds. He's like, oh well, I only need to do 1 of them. And I'm like, all right. So I grab my dice. Remember, only 6 up ward save. I rolled 3 6s, and it was demoralizing. That's all I can say. It was demoralizing. And then his cannon kept firing. If you notice, I have not mentioned his cannon yet. His cannon never hit. I don't think his cannon hit once the entire game. Close combat over there. He does another 2 wounds to me. I'm no longer steadfast. I lose that combat. I roll poorly on dice. I rolled high. They break. He does not pursue. I run through the impassable terrain. 1 survives. This combat, I have 1 wound left on Junior. That's all I can say. Just 1 wound left on Junior. I'm unbreakable. Again, I'm not a huge fan of unbreakable units, but I'm unbreakable, so he's going, crap. Was not expecting to be stuck there. He was hoping to be in either to the Deep Watch or the Spears at that point. Probably the Spears. Speaking of Spears, his big machine abomination turned around and killed another, 7 dwarves, and I did 1 wound back. Now, here's the thing. I actually think that this is appropriate. I am fine losing about 5 to 7 infantry models, okay, against a monster. That's appropriate. And doing 1 to 2 wounds back in return. And they're only strength 3, but spears, so I have more attacks than normal. I don't think it's appropriate when a unit that has great weapons is still only wounding on 6s to a monster. So this is, I think, a picture-perfect situation where a monster, I think, is appropriately kitted out. It's got the war save, which, unfortunately, I have a flaming banner in that unit. But this is a good example of a monster against infantry, and the monster is doing what it should do, and the infantry is doing what it should do. Over here to this combat, again, I still have my buffs. He only has lightning reflexes. I lose 2 my Kingsguard, and, well, those are all the dead rats that are in the picture. There was a lot more than that. So, again, they opened up. They managed to kill a lot more. He breaks. I let them go, and I do a combat pivot. So this way, they're facing the nice, juicy flank of the unit that was held in place by the Vengeance Seeker. So now it's my turn. During my shooting phase, I kill that Doom Wheel over there. I managed to finally kill one of those rotary guns. He kept rolling those 4-up ward saves like they were coming like no tomorrow. And close combat. Now, there's one thing that I forgot to do and forgot to mention. He has a spell up on my unit, which is -1 to hit, and treats all terrain, including open terrain, the spirit of the forest, treats all terrain as danger terrain 2. So I forgot to do my DT test. So I do my DT test. I put 1 wound on my king, and I take 10 wounds. to my unit. 10 wounds. Bad luck. That sucked. Oh well. So all of a sudden I went from being able to be disrupting to that big unit to now I'm just pretty much more annoying to it in any case. Over here, he killed another 3 of my dwarves before they turned around and finally did one more wound to his abomination. And over here for this combat here, he kills Junior with 1 wound. Kills a does he? I'm not even sure he killed any of the Kingsguard. Maybe 1 or 2 of the Kingsguard, or not the Kingsguard. The Deep Watch. He did nothing to the Kingsguard, and they just open up a huge bottle of whooping. However, he is still steadfast, so he's going, all right, well, we'll wait and see. Still have my character in there. And let's see. There's that picture. So now it's his turn. So here's the way the board looks now. The reason why my 1 unit of archers, the crossbowmen, are running that way is there's a marker over there, deployment marker, that I want him to go ahead and get. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So over here, I think he did another miscast and killed only 3 more of his Skaven. During his shooting, his rotary gun finally does the 1 more wound on that guy. And then on to close combat, because he's running out of things, and he did rally his other unit. And the reason why they're there is I declared a charge, trying to get in a panic, everything else in between. So I declare that charge, and they rally over there, and now they're facing straight ahead. Again, just no big buffs on my units this time. They turn around and they just slaughtered. That's the only thing I can say is they just slaughtered rats this turn between the Kingsguard in the flank and the Deep Watch up front, and he did nothing to me. He had no wounds whatsoever, whether it be with his character, his meat grinder, or anything. He just was rolling dismally. So he's going to auto break at this point, and yeah, that's all I can say is he auto breaks. The Deep Watch go into that other that 1 remaining unit back there. Kingsguard didn't quite go as far, and that's it. I tried charging the the rotary gun there that's sitting there in front of me. It flees, and that's it. So during so I declare a charge against his mage bunker with my Kingsguard during my turn now, and he chooses to flee and causes the rotary gun to panic. So here, I actually caught him. I rolled a 10 on my dice, and I actually was able to catch him, and he turned around and the rotary gun's already fleeing. So facing that way, so I can try to get in towards the cannon. And yeah, that's all I got. So let's see. Over there, it's kind of a no contest. I turn around, I kill him, and then run him down. And his turn, he just rallies his 2 rotary guns. My turn, I charge into the cannons. I charge into the 1 rotary gun, and that's it. So there's a death to the rotary gun. And let me go back. So during his turn, all right, because my units turn around and face them, he moves his rotary gun, and he actually turns around and kills. Did we misplay that? I think we did. He turns around and kills. Yeah, no, we did something wrong. But he kills a couple of my dwarves of my spearman unit, bringing them now below half, and I fail my panic test twice, needing 10s. I rolled like 11 and 12. And that was it. No, it's off. So they're broke. They're decimated, and he gets full points for that unit. So there's that. And over there, my organ gun finally does it in. So end of the game. Here's how this looks. Again, I would have just moved my BSB over, but it was getting late, and I just tabled my poor opponent. I felt bad. I really did. So the only thing I can say is like Dan looks at it and it's like, and I look at it as well as like it's a great learning game. And at the same time, it's like you never, as a player, I always prefer 10-10 games because those are bloody, those are back and forth. It's like, oh, it's a nail biter versus something like this. But Dan is a really good opponent. Just had bad luck. Just bad luck this game. So again, results, obviously, it's a Massacre Dwarven Holds 20-0. The rotary guns are definitely the MVPs. And the Kingsguard are the MVPs. So, and I still say Kingsguard suck. But because, and again, it's not because of their outputs, because of survivability, but look, Kingsguard turned around and did a majority of those wounds there. Kingsguard, let's keep going back. And had I had the entire unit, that would have been a totally different story. Kingsguard turned around and broke and killed all those characters there. And, let's see. Over here, that's that. Meanwhile, the rotary gun turned around and got the character up at the top of the screen and got the spears. Let me go back to the last picture. Got the spears. What else did rotary gun get? I think that was it. That's all the rotary guns did. But to me, those are his MVPs. Could make a case for the Abomination or one of the Doom Wheels. And that's it. Honestly, there was a single Greybeard that I kept forgetting about. That's off to the side there. And that's it. That's game. So any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to post them. And until next time, happy gaming.